In the very heart of Africa, a green country rises and falls in gentle waves. People call this place the land of 1,000 hills. The hills are soft and rounded, covered in a patchwork of farms covered in forests. Rivers carve their way through deep, fertile valleys, nourishing the soil. From a distance, the land seems quiet, ancient, and immensely strong. But this peaceful landscape holds a long and complex story within its folds. It is a story of people. It is a story of movement. It is a story of change. How did this beautiful place become the nation we now know as Rwanda? The answer is not a single event, but a slow unfolding of history, like a path winding its way up one of those very hills. The story begins long, long ago. It starts before maps were drawn and before borders were imagined. The first hints of this nation are found in the movements of people. Small groups of families walked across the vast African continent. They were searching for good land to plant seeds and to find fresh water. They were looking for a safe place to build a home and to raise their children. People who would one day become the people of Rwanda arrived from many different directions. Here, among the hills, they met. They stayed. The very first people to call these hills home were the Twa. They were skilled hunter-gatherers who lived in the dense forests that once covered much of the land. They lived in small, mobile groups, moving with the seasons and the availability of food. Their connection to the natural world was profound. Later, a new group began to arrive. They were the Hutu, farmers. They came seeking fertile soil to plant crops, beans, sorghum, bananas. They cleared land and created permanent settlements. Following the Hutu, another group migrated in. These were the Tutsi, pastoralists. They brought large herds of longhorn cattle and sought grassy highlands for grazing. Twa, Hutu, Tutsi, arrivals over centuries. Their interactions were complex and evolved over a long time. They traded, often intermarried, and began to share a common language and many cultural practices. The land itself profoundly shaped how people lived. The landscape of 1,000 hills was not easy to farm. Heavy rains on steep slopes could wash away precious topsoil. People developed an ingenious system of terracing, carving step-like platforms into hillsides. Terraces created farmland and protected the soil from erosion. Life was a constant negotiation with the land. Cattle held a special and central place in Rwandan culture. They were wealth, power, and social connection. Cattle provided milk, meat, and served as a living currency. Cows sealed friendships, arranged marriages, settled disputes. From this arose ubuhake, cattle-based patronage, creating bonds of interdependence across society. In defensible hillside villages, people worked together and celebrated together, the bedrock of early governance. Over many generations, small villages and communities began to join together, and the process was slow and organic. Alliances formed for protection, to manage water, and to share grazing land. Strong leaders emerged, warriors, diplomats, judges, able to unite clans and villages. From these alliances, small kingdoms formed across the hills. They developed courts, appointed officials, created armies. Political innovation took root. Eventually, one kingdom rose above the others, the kingdom of Rwanda in the heartland. Oral tradition says it was founded by Gihanga. Under successive Mwami monarchs, it expanded. Expansion came by conquest, marriage, and cattle patronage. The Mwami and court became the central pillar.